Once there was a young boy, Arjun, who dreamed of becoming an army officer. He was not born into a rich or powerful family. He had no support or shortcuts in life. All he had was discipline, courage, and a strong wish to serve his country honestly. At a young age, Arjun joined a military training camp. Life there was very hard. His days began before sunrise and ended late at night. His body often ached from long marches and tough exercises. Year after year, he trained quietly, accepting every hardship. Over time, Arjun became a strong and disciplined soldier. He made some good friends too. He lived a very simple life. Slowly, he built a good amount of savings. His hard work paid off, and he finally became an army officer. He had grown up in an orphanage and had no family of his own. That orphanage had been his home, and he never forgot the care he had received there. During this phase of his life, he befriended a successful businessman, Raj. Raj was well-dressed, confident, and always spoke about money, growth, and investments. One day, during a casual conversation, Raj asked Arjun what he had done with the money he had earned over the years. "I have only saved it," the Arjun replied simply, "nothing more." Raj laughed gently. "Saving is good," he said, "but money should grow. You could have invested it. You could have doubled or tripled it by now." Arjun looked at him blankly. Financial matters were unfamiliar territory. "I don't understand these things," he said honestly. "What should I do?" Raj paused for a moment and then smiled. "Why don't you give the money to me? I know how to make it grow. I'll invest it wisely and give you excellent returns every year." Arjun trusted him. There was no hesitation in his heart. Before handing over the money, however, he made one request. "If something ever happens to me," he said, "please donate the entire amount to the orphanage where I grew up." Raj nodded. "Of course," he said reassuringly. Soon after, war was declared. Arjun was called to the battlefield. He fought bravely, leading from the front, just as he had been trained to do. In one intense encounter, he and his closest companion, a fellow soldier he trusted deeply, were pinned down by enemy fire. At a crucial moment, Arjun called out to his friend. "Give me cover," he shouted, "so I can move forward and fire." As he rose and moved towards the enemy camp, expecting support, his friend made a choice that would echo across lifetimes. Instead of covering him, he turned back and ran, choosing his own life over loyalty. Arjun was struck by enemy fire and fell on the battlefield. He died instantly, betrayed and alone. Sometime later, the betraying friend also died, unable to escape the brutal fate of war. When news of Arjun's death reached Raj, his first reaction was shock, but shock quickly gave way to something far darker: relief, and then happiness. Arjun was an orphan. There was no family to claim the money. No one knew of the agreement except the two of them. Raj convinced himself that donating the money was unnecessary. "There is no one to question me," he thought. "This money is mine now." He distributed sweets, celebrated quietly, and kept the entire sum for himself. Over time, he invested it further and grew even wealthier. Soon after, his wife became pregnant. Overjoyed, he eagerly awaited the arrival of his child. A healthy baby boy was born, and Raj celebrated grandly. He spared no expense in raising his son. The boy grew up surrounded by comfort, love, and opportunity. Raj fulfilled every wish: education, luxury, status, everything money could buy. The boy grew into a confident, capable young man. When the boy came of age, Raj arranged his marriage with great pomp and splendor. The wedding was lavish, attended by many, symbolizing the family's wealth and status. But barely 4 or 5 months after the marriage, tragedy struck. The young man suddenly fell ill. At first it seemed minor, but his condition worsened rapidly. Raj rushed his son to doctors, specialists, hospitals, spending money without restraint. He traveled from city to city, country to country, seeking cures. But no doctor could identify the illness. His son grew weaker with each passing day. Raj sold his properties, jewelry, and savings. His vast fortune slowly vanished, rupee by rupee, into medical bills and treatments. Nothing worked. Eventually, he was left with nothing but a single note of money in his wallet. One day, while walking the streets in despair, a stranger noticed his sorrow and asked him what was wrong. Upon hearing the story, the stranger suggested he visit a man in a nearby village known for curing mysterious illnesses. With nothing left to lose, Raj went there. He told the healer about his son and begged for medicine. "I only have 100 rupees, he said. The healer replied calmly, "That is enough." Raj handed over his last note and rushed home with the medicine. That night, he gave it to his son, praying desperately for a miracle. But the next morning, his son passed away. Raj was shattered. His home echoed with cries of grief. His daughter-in-law, now a widow at such a young age, sat silently broken. There was no wealth left, no son, no hope. As he wailed uncontrollably, A Mahatma entered his house. The Mahatma tried to console him. "Life and death are beyond human control," he said gently. "Everyone must face loss." But Raj refused to be comforted. "Why me?" he cried. "What sin have I committed to deserve this?" The Mahatma looked at him calmly and said, "Do you remember an army officer you had met early on in your life?" "Yes," he whispered. "I remember." "You took his savings," the Mahatma continued, "and instead of donating them as promised, you kept them for yourself." Raj trembled. "That army officer," the Mahatma said, "was reborn as your son. You spent every rupee of his own money on his upbringing and treatment. When the account was settled, he left." Raj turned white. "But what about my daughter-in-law?" he asked weakly. "What sin did she commit?" The Mahatma replied, "She was the soldier's friend, the one who betrayed him on the battlefield. In this life, she experienced the pain she once caused." The Mahatma rose to leave and said softly, "Karma never forgets, it only waits." Raj was left alone, finally understanding the unseen balance of life. Moral: no one escapes karma. Every action, good or bad, returns, if not in this life, then the next.
To see more such videos, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.